Another day, another package. This time I got myself something very special. It's a camera that I never used before, but I built myself one. So this is a holder for film. It comes in its original case, that's what I really liked. And in a few seconds you're gonna see what kind of camera it is. It is a wonderful, no, I cannot say it now. These are some plate holders or film holders. So this is a wonderful stereo camera. Its name is Richard Verascope Anti-Static-Pinsel. And I'm not gonna say it a second time, because just gonna read it on the screen. It's a French stereo camera. It comes with kind of a plate holder or film holder that's on it here right now. I really like that it comes with its original landscapes that are made of leather. And on the side is a viewfinder for portrait mode. So maybe if you shoot single images and not like stereo images. So here is the shutter. I really like that it's working. So I was testing all the shutter times at different ones. Now have a look at this mechanism. It's for changing the film plates. Isn't that really cool? I really love that. Now I wanted to figure out how to use the film holder. This is a viewfinder. It's really nice. What is missing, you can see it already, is the mechanism to mount it on a tripod. So I'm gonna build something for that. And let's see what's in the film holder. There is a roll of film in there. So I knew that already, so I don't want to fake it. But I was so excited to see a roll of film that comes with the camera. This is a 127 format film. It was invented 1912, what I read from Kodak. This color film from Agfa is probably like 70 to 50 years old. With very old color film, it's recommended to develop it in black and white chemicals, because the color film has also a light-sensitive silver layer that ages less quickly than the color layers. And even there are different methods, like stand development, adding benzo, and so on. I decided to go for a strong, very cold developer. I read this on a website that I will link below. So let me show you. The author wrote that he uses active agitation to boost the contrast, so I thought I used the AGO film processor and subtract 15% for rotary processing. Here I'm testing if the AGO film processor can handle these low temperatures. This was just water from the fridge because I wanted to see if the AGO film processor matches the temperature with my thermometer. And as you can see here, both show 5 degrees Celsius. After that I mixed my black and white chemicals and stored them in the fridge. These 127 film rolls have a different size, but don't worry, you can use your Patterson reels to adjust them the right size and they will fit. Now comes the first adventure. This old film roll will be curly as hell, so it's gonna be very difficult to get it on the reel. And even getting off the sticker was like a little adventure already. So I hope that the paper will not stick to the film, but luckily it wasn't like that. And I had a hard time getting it on the reel, but at the end I was happy that I made it. It was really not easy, but it was doable. Like everybody is writing, it is doable, but it's not the easiest thing to do. What else I did inside there, I cut down 2 film strips. Yeah, that was my thumbs up because I was so happy. So I can do a test development before doing the real development. I will gonna show you that in a moment. Yeah, I'm so happy now when I got this out. Here's the film strip I told you. Before I start with the test development, I wanna let you know what kind of developer I used. I used a HC110 in a 10% mixture, very strong. I put the developer, the rapid fixer and the distilled water for stopping in the fridge to cool it down. Why did I use HC110? Because I read a lot that it deals very well with fog, and with a cool development this is also good for contrast and fog as far as I understood from reading. Before I started with the test development, I wanted to measure again the temperature, so I'm sure what temperature I'm dealing with, because I need it later for the calculation of the time. Now I start with my test development. I fill in the 10% HC110, prepare the test strip and press start on my watch and submerge it for 1 minute. After 1 minute I submerge it a little bit more and so on until I have 4 to 7 different development lines, so to say, or fields. I'm gonna show you in a second. For the very last line, I left a little bit too less space, but at the end it worked out. I'm gonna show you in a second. After developing, I put it in a distilled water for stopping. Here is already the fixer. I measure the temperature again, so I know what to set in the HO film processor because it gets warmer for sure. Because the fixer is very cold, you have to consider much longer fixing times as well. And after final wash, we have here my test strip. Let me explain. You can see here now the developing times from 1 to 7 minutes. And I chose to go for 4 minutes because the density was somewhere in the middle. So it's my first time, maybe I'm doing a mistake, but I was thinking that looks good. So I went for 4 minutes. For rotary development, I subtracted 15% again, and then we have about 3.5 minutes. Temperature-wise, I chose to go for 7 degrees because I started with 6 and ended up with 8. Here I cooled down the tray a little bit to keep the temperature at the same level as good as possible. Now it's time to program the HAO film processor. Basically, it's a text file where you put in the temperature you want to have it, the maximum temperature and the lowest temperature, and then you upload it to your HO film processor, and then you just can use it. Now I just choose the program I just programmed, so to say. It sounds funny. And I'll set the time to 3.5 minutes. And if the temperature changes, the HO film processor will compensate for the time. So I'm really excited. The film is in. I'll put in the developer and press start, and you're gonna see in a second how it will compensate for the development. And yeah, let's hope for the best, so to say. From all the excitement you could see, I chose 3 minutes and 20 seconds and not 3 minutes and 30 seconds, but for that I'll just add the 10 seconds at the end. You're gonna see that. Now you see the compensation happening already because it's warmer. I guess this is happening because also the tank is a little bit warmer and it will warm up the developer. Even the tank was for a short amount of time in the fridge. I didn't want to put it too long in there because of the film. Very fast forward, you can see I did the stop bath, and after the stop bath I'll put in the fixer for 12 minutes. It's like 3 times the time of normal fixing. And after that comes washing and photo flow, and we finally can have a look at the results. What I forgot to mention, also the water for washing had the same temperature. So the excitement starts. I couldn't get my eyes off this roll of film. And finally I could see nearly nothing, but let's scan it and see if I can get something out of it. You're gonna be the judge if it was the chemicals or I did something wrong with the development, but I think the density is good on some of the images, and you even can see that there's some kind of stereo images happening. I'm gonna show you after the scanning how it looks like, and then you'll know what I mean. So this is the first stereo pair, and you can see that they are similar. So this cannot be chemicals that's causing this. This must have been some kind of image because they were side by side and they look like they belong together, right? I make them a little bit smaller so you can use the crossed eye technique to see a 3D effect. I will put immediately afterwards a second image with the red and cyan colors so you can watch them with your 3D glasses. I will put all the images on my blog so you can play with them. Maybe you figure out something by yourself. Maybe it's just chemicals, but I don't think so. And at the end there's one more image that looks like an image that had a lot more density, but it's also not kind of an image. I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe it's all also light leaks, but again they look too similar and they look like they were fitting together. So what's up next? I will buy some 127 film and will shoot some stereo images with the camera. There luckily is again 127 film available, And I will shoot for sure stereo wet plates, but I have to build a wet plate holder before that. I have done a whole 3D stereo wet plate camera already, and I will link to the video about that up in the corner and down below. Even the project didn't turn out as I wanted to, but I think I learned a lot about developing. Every time something is not happening, you learn a lot. So I can't wait to read your comments, what you would have done. And at this point, I want to thank you for watching my videos, for watching that long videos. Thanks a lot to my Patreons for your support, guys. And as always, I'll be back, guys, with some stereo wet plates, hopefully.